Hello, and welcome to your Mining Disrupt News Surge for Monday, April 15th, 2024. As always, everything that I say here is for entertainment and education purposes only. This is not financial advice. You need to do your own due diligence in that arena. If you are interested in partnering with us as a sponsor, please reach out and we'll get those details sorted. Before we get into today's round of news, scan this QR code right there and get your tickets to the Mining Disrupt Expo happening in Miami, Florida, June 24th through the 26th. It'll be quite toasty if past history is any indication. All right, let's get into the numbers. Remember last week how I was asking you to guess what you thought the price was going to do? Did you think it was going to do this? I sure as heck didn't. The price is now $63,463 per Bitcoin, meaning your $1 will get you over 1,500 sats again, 1,576. The blocks are coming in still pretty dang fast, 9 minutes and 49 seconds, which means, right up here, real small, tiny up there, the halving is not going to land on the 20th unless something strange and drastic happens and miners curtail their mining, which I don't think is going to happen. But as things stand right now, the halving will be taking place somewhere around 8 o'clock, give or take a couple hours, on Friday, just 5 days away. That is right, it is so close. Quick bit of housekeeping before I move on with today's stories. Last week I said that the big earthquake happened in Thailand. It did not happen in Thailand, it happened in Taiwan. All right, there we go, got that cleared up. Let's get into today's news. Let's zip right through this. What goes better together than peanut butter and jelly? Bitcoin and your portfolio. In 2024, Bitcoin will be a staple in modern investors' portfolios. I heard this from a German kid. His name? Deutsche Bank. So, how much Bitcoin does one of the largest banks in the world recommend that you have? 1%? 2%? 5%? No. A whopping 14% allocation to Bitcoin. And this echoes something that was talked about at a recent BlackRock event where they were suggesting somewhere in the range of, I think it was like a 20 or 23% allocation. Now that Bitcoin allocations are increasing, the next question is how big will Bitcoin eventually become? Time for some moon math. Whips out calculator. Assumption number 1. The average future Bitcoin portfolio allocation is 70%. Assumption 2. The total wealth in the world is in the range of $900 trillion. 70% of 900 trillion equals $630 trillion. You do some math here, and yes, you're reading that right. You get to a prediction of $30 million per Bitcoin. And you thought you were bullish? Do you think we will ever see a $30 million Bitcoin in today's purchasing dollars? So if you think of what today $30 million is like and what you could do with that, do you think we will see that in our lifetimes? I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. I have absolutely no freaking clue what this thing is going to do. But what I would recommend, if you're not on board and you don't see how this is even possible, is do some research. Look into it. Read books like The Bitcoin Standard. Do some watching of podcasts like Breed Love and Sailor going into what is money. Understand what this thing is and how that could even be possible, because it is possible. It is definitely possible. Is it plausible? I guess that's the eye of the beholder. Remember how last week I was talking about South Korea and they had the opposition party trying to get into office and talking about Bitcoin? Well, here it is. It just happened. Just in, Bitcoin-friendly South Korean opposition party has won the election. They are committed to allowing domestic investors to buy Bitcoin ETFs. This just posted today, Sunday, when I'm recording this. Hong Kong Bitcoin ETF possibly approved tomorrow. That's today, as of now. You're watching this now, Monday the 15th. South Korea ETF coming soon. UBS and Morgan Stanley rushing to approve Bitcoin ETFs on their platforms for all clients. How are you bearish? Moving on with some more bullish news after all that. Tim Draper, if I had to predict, $250,000 Bitcoin by the end of this year is looking pretty good. I have seen multiple individuals talking about how you're not stacking hard enough if you don't have 4 jobs, if your fingernails aren't bleeding, if you're not living on the foundation of your basement apartment or living out of the back of a car, homeless in a tent, then you're not stacking hard enough. We've got here Luke Michich saying, in 2019, I used to take these bags to recycling every weekend for $35 to buy more Bitcoin. Do everything you can to get to a tenth of a Bitcoin. If you're not living in a van or rummaging your streets, recycling bins, you need to stack harder. I don't agree with that sentiment at all. I've said this a few times. I don't know that I've ever mentioned it on this channel making content, but I know back when I was on Simply doing some of the live stuff and videos, I definitely did there. I play card games. I've enjoyed card games ever since I was a little kid. Just playing games with my siblings and parents, spades, things like that. And then when collectible trading card games became a thing, Pokemon, I got into that. Never got into Yu-Gi-Oh! Because those people are weird. But I've gotten into Magic the Gathering and Flesh and Blood. And I've got into them, I've got out of them. I saw them as somewhat of an investment at different points. And then I was like, I don't know if this is great. Long and short of this is, I have a moderate, and I mean really moderate, like maybe a grand worth of Magic the Gathering cards. It's not that much. And over this weekend, actually, I was thinking of selling everything. Just dumping it all, getting maybe $750. Okay, let's say 1 million sats worth, give or take. Maybe in 20 years from now, I'll look back and go, oh my God, if only I'd sold those cards. I could buy 3 homes right now. I could Airbnb one out. I could give one to my child. I could do, oh my goodness, if only I'd sold those cards. But you know what I can't do? You know what I can't do if I sell those cards? I can't play Magic the Gathering. Oh, yeah. There was this company, you might have heard about them, MasterCard, and they had this slogan, which honestly, maybe it was a little cheesy, but it was pretty good. It was honestly pretty good. They would show an ad of people hanging out with their children, going on a vacation, enjoying some old couple hugging, different experiences, different memories being made. And they would say, there are some things that money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. I think that rings true of just money, period. There are some things that money can't buy. For everything else, there's money in some form. Be that Bitcoin, be that MasterCard, whatever it is, the USD, it doesn't matter. If you have family and you have friends and you have people that you want to spend time with, well, maybe going out and picking up cans and living out of the back of a van and smelling like a dumpster isn't the best way to live your life. Especially if you have children and they look back and they go, boy, yeah, my dad, he sure grinded all that stuff, and he was every night he posted that meme of the kids and the dad there, the picture from the 50s or whatever it is. And what'd you do, Dad, for the last 20 years? Oh, I went and picked up cans out of the road so I could get you another 300 sats every weekend. Oh boy, Dad, that sure is great. You're a legend. But I don't remember having any memories with you. I remember asking you, could we play catch? Could we play some card games? But you'd sold everything. We didn't even have chairs to sit on. We were eating beans and rice. Yeah, and I stacked harder than anyone. Whoop-de-frickin-do. Think about how you're actually spending your time. If you want to go and pick up cans, have at it. But if that's coming at the detriment of spending time with your loved ones and making memories with your limited time on Earth, you might want to reconsider your priorities. I guess the message of today's news surge is think about how you're spending your time. Do you want to go and grind yourself to the quick of the bone, just trying to stack another few hundred sats? Okay. Or would you rather spend some time with the people that you care about and the people that you love, or trying to meet people that you love and care about? One of those options seems like it'll have way more of a lasting impact on you, because it doesn't matter how much Bitcoin you have. If your health is in the dumper, it doesn't really matter if you have all the Bitcoin in the world if you don't have anybody there to support you and hold your hand. Oh, but I'd have the best medical support and I could pay for all the hookers and really? That's you could pay for love, true care, true compassion, somebody actually looking you in the eye and saying, "Hey, I truly hope that you get better. I'm here for you." You can't pay for that. There's no amount of money that can truly buy you that. That is earned over years. That's found. And I'll tell you what, I don't think that going and living out of the back of a van and picking up trash and selling your cans is how you find that. Hey, if you're doing it with somebody and it's out in ventures with the family, then cool, great. But if you're stacking at the detriment of your relationships, consider stacking less and spending more time with those you love. See you next week.